we're like kind of the opposite ends of something in a way. Like you attach yourself to people and people attach themselves to me.
Oh, well, it could be. Yeah. But I do once I'm attached to you or once I bring you in, I'm not letting you go. I have some
Yeah,
like more than 20-year-old never met a strangers that are still around.
man. That's and like you're the one who keeps up with everybody. Like
Yeah.
even if
I
we meet them together, yeah, you're
I'm the
like
contact point, right?
yeah, you're the contact point, but you're also like really good at following up and like keeping up with people. So there's people who like I never even would have thought were going to be part of our family. Welcome to the Brannon Files podcast.
I'm Brandee.
And I'm Shannon, also known as Brannon.
I'm the older sister.
And I'm the younger.
As Black women, we've had a lifetime of adventures, including world travel, navigating work, and adjusting to evolving family dynamics.
Join us as we dig deep into the files to share stories, experiences, and tips.
Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, girl, hey. We're here again.
Here we are, ready to do this. And you know how we start this out. What have you navigated through since the last time we were together?
Whew. Okay, well, I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice or not, but what I've been navigating through is this like seasonal change, whether it's allergies, a cold, or like I even had a scare that the vid might be back. But I took a test and I was negative, so thank you for
Thank
that.
goodness. Yes, thank goodness for that.
I lost my sense of smell yesterday, so that was something that was an interesting way to navigate through because I have like this oil that I use that I mix,
It
and it
smells
has
so good, might I add.
thank you. It's a
No problem.
lemongrass, and it's very strong. And yesterday I put it on, and I could not smell it. It was like I had just put on like a neutral oil, and it was so weird to not be able to smell anything. So for anybody else who has ever experienced a loss of smell, whew, that's an interesting sense to lose.
Yeah, the first time that well, not the first time, hopefully the only time that I had the vid, I lost my sense of smell and taste. And like, I mean, on the upside, you don't get so hungry when you can't smell or taste. I mean, you eat, but you're not like starving. I feel like it really helps you eat only when you're hungry when that happens. But on the downside, like you feel like you're missing out on so much, not smelling or tasting.
Yeah, I was pretty much on a liquid diet because I just didn't want to eat. It wasn't even so much like I was like, I know I need nutrients of some sort. Like I ended up having some roasted vegetables just to get something in there that might have some vitamins in it besides like the apothecary of, of vitamins I've been downing. But today is much better. I can actually breathe through my nose and hopefully
Always
I
a good
just
thing.
not too crazy.
That's always a good thing. Yeah, but it just reminds me, obviously a whole nother topic, but it just reminds me how much all of our senses play together to create like hunger, like emotions, like, it is definitely the five senses definitely work in tandem. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
yeah.
What have you navigated through since we last talked?
Whew. You know, just being on the go. I feel like I've just been on the go, 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 go. So just trying to like figure out like, do I keep a suitcase packed and just, you know, swap them out? Do I just keep the same suitcase, washing clothes in between? The last trip I even actually did laundry like at the hotel, which was like I don't do that often, but in efforts to keep my packing small and tight, I was like, you know what? Okay, I have this many outfits and I know I'm gonna be somewhere in between the two locations, so I can wash in between there. And it worked out pretty good. Did let me know that I probably, even though I've become like a pretty efficient packer, that I probably still am overpacking a little bit if I just considered to wash clothes.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like we don't really think about as much. Like, mom is real good about when she's staying someplace that has a washer and dryer, she is making sure that she washes all of her clothes before she heads out.
Which I
And
love because especially if
yeah,
you have like
it's
another
smart.
trip, then you're ready already, right?
But even without another trip, like you go home with a clean set of clothes and you just have to put the clothes away. Like that's like a whole different feeling of unpacking is when
It
everything
is.
is clean and it can just go back to where it was supposed to go. I don't do well with that, but something
Yeah,
that I
that's
would
been
like
my
to put down.
specialty. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
I don't
That's been
know.
my specialty, but I think I'm gonna tap into it. You know what I mean? Like, I do like the feeling, like, it was nice.
Yeah. All right. So in today's episode, we are talking about how we have never met a stranger. No matter where we are, local, abroad, anywhere, that we grow our family. So make sure to listen all the way to the end for our tip about tours abroad.
Okay, so Shannon, speaking of never meeting a stranger, what is your most memorable never met a stranger story?
Ooh. Okay, so mine is like, I always do things a little bit rogue and I don't quite follow the question that you ask me,
Oh, you are your mother's daughter. Mm.
and I'm your sister. So there's that. But there is this like I tend to attract people. Like I have a magnetic pull with children, with just like random strangers. Like people always love telling me their life story. So it's very much this thing where people will tell me more than you would know about a person that you met like 2 minutes before. There's so many. So I don't really know that I have a favorite never met a stranger story, but I can tell you one that just happened recently. So every day, I guess I talk about the gym all the time. It's no secret that I work out. But there's this man that works at one of the businesses near the gym. And every time I drive to the gym, he's standing outside taking a cigarette break. So I usually just wave and smile and keep it moving because it's somebody that I see daily. So why not, you know? And the other day when I left the gym, he was outside and he like waved me down, kind of like he was like he was really excited to see me. So I was like,
Look,
okay.
my
Um,
BFF, my daily hey.
right, exactly. So I was like, all right. I pulled up and stopped and rolled down the window and asked him how he was doing. And then he was like, do you really want to know? Now, when people ask you, do you really want to know? You know something's coming.
And
So
it means they really want to tell you whether you really wanted to know or not.
right. So I said yes because like it felt like, okay, you need a listening ear right now.
Now, was this on the way to the gym or leaving?
Leaving.
Okay, so you
This was
got
the
your workout on.
oh yeah, gotta get
Okay.
that in. So I said yes. And it turned out that he had found out some like really bad medical news and like needs a transplant type news.
Oh,
Um,
wow. But you have never talked to this man before this time.
one other time. Yeah.
Okay. He felt
Actually,
real comfortable.
yeah. So he needed an ear, basically. He was telling me that he was looking at rehab facilities and like he didn't have any family in the area and he's just like he needed somebody, right? So I was like, it's not anything off of my day to take a few minutes to listen to what he's got to say. But it turned into him telling me like his whole life story. Like it wasn't just about what was immediately happening. I found out like how he got to Atlanta, like all the things. So I'm not gonna put this man's story out there. He's got a lot going on. But it was just one of those things where he mentioned that my daily wave like brightens his day, right? Like
Oh, that's
that's
nice.
something that he looks forward to because he basically just goes home and he goes to work and he goes home and he goes to work. And he's like, when you wave and you smile, like that's a big part of my day.
Like acknowledging his existence.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
that's that's why I wave, because I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not just gonna keep driving past you. Like you're somebody that I see every day. You're in my community. And like what is that? That's not harmful to anyone to wave and basically say hello. And then also, he needed a listening ear that day, and I was able to do that. So I feel like I'm gonna check on him for sure. Like I'm gonna keep checking in because nobody wants to be out here like that and be all by themselves.
No, I love that because I love like just like a little bit of kindness can go so far and you don't even know how you affect somebody's day with maybe just a wave. You know what I mean? And that
Right.
that costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. It takes nothing from you, nothing from your time, nothing from your energy. And that little bit of kindness obviously made like such a large impact. I
Right.
would like
That's
to say that also maybe you just have like a very welcoming face. I mean,
this is possible. Yes. I was
said
like,
you
there
have a
have been
lot of
other
stories.
times.
Yeah. A lot of times the people tell you all the things, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what, like, I have this gift of being able to make a wall talk. Like, people just look at me and there must be a sign that says, like, talk to me, please, I'll listen. And they're not wrong. I usually, if I have the time, I will listen.
Well, look at that. Look, that's part of the reason I asked if it was when you were leaving the gym or going to the gym, because it could have made you late. So you might
Yeah.
have to make sure the wave is like, on the way out.
Well, the wave is usually on the way in, and like he doesn't wave me down when
Gotcha.
I'm on the way in. But when he saw me leaving was when it turned into a different type of wave.
Okay.
It was
Got it.
like a full body wave. Like, no,
Hey.
not that
Okay.
kind
Not
of
that
body,
kind of
not a
body
body
wave.
roll. It
Oh,
was a
oh,
body wave.
oh, my bad, my bad.
It was
Got
more
distracted.
like, like all hands in the air and waving like you just don't
That's what
care.
I'm saying. Throw your hands in the air. Hey, well, but I'm glad you were able to be there for him and like brightened up his day. That's
Yeah,
cool.
thank you. What about you?
Yeah,
What's your most memorable never met a stranger story?
I agree with you. It's like hard to say what the most memorable story is because you and everybody else around always say that I do never know a stranger, literally, and we'll have a new get together and y'all are like, okay, who is this? How did you meet them? And I have to explain that I met them, I don't know, randomly somehow.
In an
Um,
airport
yeah,
or
airports, airports happen a lot. A lot of them happen definitely in travel, I'd say. So one of the ones I could think of, I was uh walking to my train and some like kids, I was walking by myself and some kids were kind of like looked like they were kind of harassed, like gonna harass me. So I saw this old man walking and he looked safe, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me just walk next to this old man for just a little bit and hopefully that'll deter these kids. And in the meantime, like I spoke to the man because I wanted to look like I knew him, right? Because I'm
yeah.
trying to just like throw this off. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And his now this is my friend, Rashid. So first of all, I was going to the wrong direction of the train. So I'm happy that I stopped this man because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get to this train. But and he was like, no, 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 no. Like that's the wrong train. You should go on this train. And not only should I go on that train, like it was he knew like a special panoramic train. So he kind of automatically turned into like
That
almost a
sounds
tour,
cool.
almost a tour guide. Yeah, it was so we walked to the train. He took me to the train and I think he was going to go on the train as well. I actually am not sure because I found out that he had like just a train pass and in his spare time he just like goes around the country. I was in Switzerland. So he took me on this panoramic train through the Swiss Alps, which is like beautiful, and we just start talking and kind of to your point, he started telling me his whole life story and his whole story of how he ended up there. So we were on this train for a couple hours. So I got the whole life story. But I had wanted to get another city in. So he helped me get to Lucerne, which was like another city to get another stop on this whole little tour. And it ended up being a tour guide all around Lucerne. He knew like the best places and how to take the like local public boat. So yeah, it's like you met a stranger, were kind. Again, I think kindness goes a long way. So I listened to his story, and then after I listened to his story, he wanted to show me then like the rest of the city and got a free boat ride. Or it wasn't free. I think it was just like I said, like the public bus. So like the bus turned into the boat, and I got a
Oh,
tour guide.
the bus turned
Uh,
into a boat. So like boats were
um,
also part of the public transportation system.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't it was actually the boat, but it's part of the normal everyday transport, like in their bus system.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
I feel like we're like kind of the opposite ends of something in a way. Like you attach yourself to people, and people attach themselves to me.
Oh, well, it could be. Yeah. But I do once I'm attached to you or once I bring you in, I'm not letting you go. I have some
Yeah,
like more than 20-year-old never met a strangers that are still around.
man. That's and like you're the one who keeps up with everybody. Like
Yeah.
even if
I
we meet them together, yeah, you're
I'm the
like
contact point, right?
yeah, you're the contact point, but you're also like really good at following up and like keeping up with people. So there's people who like I never even would have thought were going to be part of our family. Like I thought it was like one and done transactional, maybe because we're like they were like our tour guide or they worked at a hotel that we stayed at or something like that, and they were really nice and they helped us there. And you've like got their WhatsApp, you've checked on them, you know their kids' names, like all these things, and I'm like, I don't know. Then you're like, oh yeah, they say hi, and I was like, tell them I said hi. Like I say that to you all the time. Like tell them so and so I said
That is,
hi.
yeah, that is. Or I'll come back and, like you said, say that they said hi. You're like, oh, you still talk to them? Yeah, I
Yeah,
do. I have to tell you that, funny enough, though, even to your point, so I traveled back to Europe another time, and Rashid met me, and we ended up having like another tour experience. So we kept in touch over the years, and I still check on him from time to time. He says I
yeah.
tried to kill him. If I had a water trauma story for another time. You're not the only one with water trauma.
I was like, you have water trauma?
I had water trauma.
I can't
I
even think. I was like, is there a water story that's with along with a never met a stranger? I don't
Because
know.
water is your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Although, well, this is still you, but I experienced your reunion when we were on a cruise and you met somebody or you met up with somebody that you were on a cruise with, like, I don't know how many,
yeah.
15
And
years
again,
ago. And
another never met a stranger.
when I tell y'all they hugged as if they were long lost cousins and
Me
they
and Bruno
kikied.
are long lost cousins.
And yeah, it was like it was really kind of cool. Like it's actually really cool to witness like how you stay connected to people. I feel like I have like the in the moment connection and the listening ear when people needed it at that time, and then you like continue the relationship on with them. And I'm kind of like a pop in, pop out.
Oh,
Like
well, that touched my heart. Like, thanks, sis.
you're
Yeah, I
welcome.
really do try. I do like connection. Connection is important for me.
Yeah. We enjoy talking with each other, but we also want to talk with you. Comment, subscribe, like, and follow at Brannon Files on YouTube, IG, and Facebook. Don't forget to turn on your notifications to know when we have new content to share. All right, so we've talked a lot about us meeting people that where they're like an instant family or like we've talked to them, we've known them for years. But what do you think are some of the benefits of being like part of our family or like once we've pulled you in and you're part of our network, like how does that benefit people overall?
I mean, I think for me, I'd say like maybe because I keep the connections, maybe it even helps extend their family. Like, maybe even to other people I know. A lot of times, some of this extended family is overseas or something. So if I know somebody traveling overseas, then I can always like hook them up with with a person. I mean, I think even like just recently, literally like this week-ish, our driver from Bali, who like has become part of our family, who we check in on from time to time, got to be the driver for a good friend and her husband on their honeymoon. So, I
That's
mean,
cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like the extension of that, like I was thinking about it as well as like if we met you and you're like a service provider or a tour guide or you have a business and we did an activity at your business and you were like really good at what you did or like we had an experience that we'll never forget, we will share that. Like we will keep in touch with you, or Brandy will, and then we will promote what you're doing and being able to like have other people experience what we experienced or have you as part of their travel experience. So I
and it
think
was
that's really cool.
yeah, and it was like super exciting. I got the call on Instagram, so I got to see Tugas. Shout out to Tugas. If you need a driver in Bali, let us know. We
Yes,
can hook you
this
up.
is like our brother from another mother.
He definitely is. And he was really upset that Shannon and Mom were not on the video chat when he called, but I got to like even see him. So even just getting to like see them and and being happy and also being so thankful that we did pass business is really touching. So I think that's part of the benefit of being part of our family is that we will really like share and want you to grow. We want to see you win as well.
Yeah, because even like we've done like when we were all kind of on lockdown and doing things at home, when we did some of our virtual events, we were doing events with people from around the world too, like people that we met. We were trying to be able to like shrink the world for our network in the US and be able to give them kind of like a global experience, but also really connect to some of the people and the artists that we met in other countries. So that was kind of cool too.
100%. Like, and I think that's kind of like we already kind of were cultivating Brandon Files, but I'd say like that's really what jumped Brandon Files off, right? As doing some of these events during the pandemic and then bringing our global network in. We couldn't
Yeah,
physically travel, so we helped people travel cross country, like virtually.
yeah. That's true. I hadn't thought about that because like Brandon Files, we really started out as just an Instagram account for our travels and really like because both of us travel so much, people always are asking us like, "Oh, I want to see the pictures," or "Where did you go?" or "What have you done?" And even though we travel separately, we also travel together. So I was like, let's just do an Instagram account together. And then
Yeah.
it morphed into a whole nother thing over the
And as
pandemic.
soon as we, by the way, I'd like to say that as soon as we decided to finally launch the Instagram page together, is pretty much when the pandemic happened. So we were
Yeah.
like, how do we pivot this? So, I mean, it's even a testament to our family, right? It's for the people to be able to follow us, and it's been a way for us to connect the people we met along the way.
Yeah, that's true too. And oh, we didn't even mention one of our like favorite bartenders.
I mean,
Like,
of course not. I was waiting for it to come.
yeah, I was like, I would say that, Patrick, shout out to Patrick. He's like
Definitely.
had his own bar in Taiwan and like he became part of our family virtually. Like we didn't even meet him in person. We had experiences with him over through the internet. And
Yeah,
then
through the internet. The only way
yeah,
we really met him. And
and then
then,
when he
like the
moved back
family,
stateside.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, then the family really became family after the internet, like brother from another mother. Um, Fast forward to Shannon's 40th, and she already talked about how much I like to plan before. Um, I totally surprised her to have Patrick actually come in person and do a cocktail making class. And then he was 100% adopted into the family.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
parents included.
parents included, everybody. Thinks he has his own room at the parents' house, all the things, all the
I
things.
think he's a cousin now too. Like, yeah, I was like,
And it turns out his family's from Arkansas also, so, we could really be related. We
he
don't
might
know.
really be. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's definitely another testament to family and just the Brandon File story. I think that we haven't really told so much of the Brandon File story in some of these other episodes, so a little look behind the curtain of how it all kinda came together.
Yeah. It's time to dig into the files for today's tip.
So our tip for the day is tour locally. I'd say tour locally and be friendly. And the reason I say that is because when you really get to know the staff or the people who actually work at a place, typically, if you're kind and friendly, they'll give you the inside scoop. They know that you don't want to go on the mass tour that maybe the hotel might even offer, but they'll give you a little bit of maybe their friend who's a driver because we really recommend getting a local driver. And if you're getting somebody from the hotel, they want their job. So they're not going to give you somebody who they think is going to put you in danger, but they'll give you just a little bit more of the local experience. So, and also some of the tour operating companies like Airbnb Experiences or Viator, they contract local people. So you're not going to get like a just a huge um, mass tour where you're just shoved on a bus with a lot of people and just kind of chugged from place to place. They really help you get a bit more of the local experience. So kindness goes a long way to get the contact to be able to have some of the local experiences. And local experiences are the way to go. Not only do you get to see more than what the average tourist sees, it really helps the local economy and helps the people. And then if you're like me, you stay in contact with them for days to come or time to come, and you can refer your friends or family when they travel to that area to help the people even more. And or they'll have recommendations of other people in other cities or other places they can connect you with. So tour
And
local
and the
and
local tour guide usually allows you to have a customized tour, and it's really the tour that you wanted, and it's not so scheduled. Like you can make adjustments on the fly, and they can make suggestions to you of things you might be interested in, because as you're driving around with them, you get to know them and they get to know you, and you might have a conversation of things that you like to do, and then something comes to mind that they are like, oh, then you would like this place. Like, would you want to go here? And you can like kind of craft the schedule for what you wanted your experience to be.
And I think you get the good food because they take you to the local food spots and you know that those are always better.
That's true. So our
So
tip for today is to tour local.
tour local. Thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see you next time. Until then, bye.
Bye. See you next time. Thank you for rocking with us as we embark on this journey. The Brannon Files podcast is a labor of love. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, IG, and Facebook at Brannon Files, and check back for our next episode.